like for a segment on their show?
No.
So basically, they wanted us to talk about maybe like 3 minutes about baseball cards. So I brought 5 cards to talk about. If you want to look at the cards I brought.
Oh yeah. Let's get some. Whoa. We're live.
Huh?
We're live right now.
For real?
Yeah. It's all just. I got some weird. Some mustaches, man. Dickie Don. Got the famous chicken, dude. Some sweet shit.
Yeah, like I'll show you.
See what else I got here. There's that song.
Is that one of the reasons you got out of law in the first place?
Yeah, I hate it. I hate it so bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, folks. Live right now, getting underway. 2:23 in the afternoon. Dutch Chattahoochee. Busy man. No shame. Getting it going. I'm calling this. I'm calling it 3BGB 6000. I think it's our 6,000th episode. I haven't checked, haven't counted. I do think it. Oh man, Bonnie's here.
Hurting y'all cause I'm alive. Everybody out here praying for my demise. Yeah, I could've died. Yeah, I could've cried, but I chose to rise above it.
That's a weird intro song. I don't know what we'll do for Bonnie and Jake supporting as always. We're gonna run through the ATG stuff. I found another. There's so many. What's up, Bonnie? I think it's Bonnie because Jake's in class. Maybe Jake's out of class. I don't know. This is weird. This will be our intro music. 20 and 30 there. Guys are the best. ATG's the best. But yeah, we're just gonna talk some random stuff. I got Dutch, man. Dutch is busy. I'm busy. I bit off way more than I can chew.
I just got home. I just literally showed up like 5 minutes ago from being at school shooting.
Walked in 3 minutes ago and found me sleeping on the couch in the office.
I'd been at school all day shooting.
Let's go back to OBS. I think that's the Dutch cam right there. So we got all kinds of stuff to talk about. We're gonna run through some college stuff. The headline I saw: UTSA won against University Incarnate Word on a walk-off steal of home. You don't see that too often. There's some Jackie Robinson stuff there. I'm disheveled. Just letting myself go because I have like no time for personal hygiene. I got my beard going, but yeah. Let's get the legends up there. Always support those. Support that crew right there. Gee, Merry Christmas. These are legends. I was just thinking one thing about Bonnie and Jake is you really get into it, man. You like get into people's baseball knowledge. I just like the amount and the fact that like Jake's gonna go on and become like the world's most famous baseball historian. The amount of knowledge crammed between those two minds there is phenomenal. But good seeing you, bud. Sorry I'm out of it. Let's go back to here. Do you like the music? Can you hear it? No, you can't hear it.
Oh yeah, my headphones.
You get your things on. You get your head. You get your.
I don't know, dude. I'm so
your
like
headband.
I haven't slept today, and I've been up doing school shit all day. I'm like so.
Oh man, I was up 3 o'clock in the morning last night, just mulling over.
Now I hear it.
Legal options.
I had like. I brought some snacks in here, and I was like, I haven't ate all day. I haven't really slept. I slept like 3 hours.
I think I got a banana. I ate it.
I was doing school shit all day, so like, I'm tired. But as long as I keep moving, I'll be all right.
You want me to just talk about random shit and then go?
Yeah, I know. I want to talk about baseball cards for sure.
Definitely talk about baseball cards.
Because baseball cards are not only like cool things to collect, but they can teach you history of baseball.
Yeah,
because I was telling you when I came in. So I'm like
I'll fade out of the.
a player that I like a lot is Doug Jones. Doug Jones is like legit a badass. So like I didn't know, so I like, oh, this is a cool ass looking dude. So I looked him up and I was like, oh shit, he was like a 5-time All-Star. Like this guy was an actual fucking sweet pitcher. So you learned about like a lot of players historically too.
Yeah, no, that's the best part about baseball cards.
Yeah,
I have a huge gap in my knowledge because I stopped collecting for years and got like spaced out. But you join the Marine Corps, you forget about us. Sponsor today is just walk down yourself on that recruiting center in that strip mall. Go do some chin-ups there, and then just go off to war. Just join the Marines. That's not our official. It's the few the proud.
my sponsor,
Semper Fi, but
my sponsor is Monster Mountain Dew.
Monster Mountain. I got Gatorade today. You know what I did this morning?
Mountain
So
Dew.
I went in and sent some emails on the case, and then I took that skateboard right up here that you see, right there. The baseball skateboard, which has softer wheels, and I went down to like Tobin Park, which is just like that trail, and I went skating. I just practiced, just like pushing. Went to a skate park last week with Artie Castro.
How'd that go? Oh, that Friday, right?
Yeah, actually last Friday. That was pretty fun. I thought I was going to die, but people were nice there, and then I went to a skate park maybe like everybody was nice there, but Artie's like a gregarious guy.
Big dude.
So he's like a pretty buff dude, but he was like just chatting everybody up. He's like a big bearded Santa Claus looking dude, and like I feel like if Artie was talking to you, you'd say what's up. But now I'm like a shriveled up old man, and I went to another skate park just by myself, and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And kid was like just like had his ear pods in, he just was like ignored me.
Oh,
I was like, okay, and then dude showed up, started skating. I was like, "Hey, what's up?" Nobody wanted anything to do.
So did everybody have headphones in the ear? Like, just yank them out of the ear. Like, listen to me, motherfucker. I'm trying to talk to you.
I don't know what. Let's check.
That was kind of aggressive.
Bonnie's out there. You can tell if we're too loud. Bonnie's working. What are audio levels? I don't know what we sound like. You always do the.
Yeah, I turned my laptop.
Because I can see our ATEM isn't too loud. Doesn't look like it's peaking.
So did everybody have headphones in the ear? Like, just yank them out of the ear. Like, listen to me, motherfucker. I sound a little loud.
What? Let's check.
I sound a little loud.
Think.
Yeah, I sound a little loud. Like I'm like overpowered. So basically, I'm trying to run 100 horsepower and a 90 horsepower engine.
Okay, I'm gonna bring yours down a notch.
Does that even
bring this one
Bonnie
down.
said it sounds great. So.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Bonnie.
But.
All right. You always got to check sound. Let's go. Let me just show you because we can just go back and forth to ATG. But I always kind of have their website. No, dude! I found the funniest thing. Bonnie and Jake were doing. They had a brawl. It was the ATG picnic. This is good. I'll do screen share.
I always love the intros where like Bonnie spits. He's like.
Some of the funniest dudes ever.
That's like a baseball. That's like the baseball thing. Just spit right before you pitch.
Go to videos, and then you go down to OBS.
I tell you what, you son of a bitch, and then let one fly.
Display capture does this little spinny thing of like 1,000,000 captures. It just captures the OBS over and over again. But then I go bam right here. You go to ATG. Come on down to where was it? Scuffletown.
What's funny is some people like broadcast like that. They just leave it like that.
ATG picnic was great. There's a big brawl. Oh, I got to turn on the desktop sound.
What's funny is the audio is behind. So like what I see on screen.
Yeah.
We've already talked about it. Yeah.
You won't think. I don't think you'll be able to hear it, but this is. They're doing. They got a big box of cards they're talking about. There's some
I'm going with.
They should have called their channel probation.
For any little kid in the 1980s, read all about it.
Fucking cool.
I think and Bonnie and Jake. Look at Jake with the tie.
Ozzie Virgil.
And here's the brawl.
Jack Kroll runs the club and
Pedro Pascual brawl.
He's going to be gone too.
This is good.
They are going after Leffers.
This is a great brawl.
For the fourth
In the
straight time,
ATG
Perez coming to the
picnic,
plate.
September.
Look at that one going now.
We'll definitely show up some cards too.
Yeah, we'll show some cards. I
And
bought
there
some
are
cards the
some
other day for the
hot-tempered
neighbor kids.
individuals out
Oh, you
there.
bought some from them or for them?
Yeah, because like we've been hanging out more and more with these folks across the street. They had a 6-year-old too,
Pascual
and
Perez not involved there.
they like gave
I
they
tell
give
you
some
what.
like little toy cars to Liam.
So I have these
So I was
cards.
like, well, I'm gonna get to
You're gonna
that.
see.
I have these cards in order of a story that I came up with for these cards.
Oh, that's nice.
There's a story, but I have to get close to the camera so you can actually see the
Maxwell
faces.
Perez is not out
But
there. He's gone back
it's
to the
hilarious.
Atlanta dugout.
Look at that brawl.
That's awesome.
Like we were talking about last
That's
week.
a big time brawl. It just keeps going.
Like we talked about last week, they need to just let
Jeff
baseball players
Summers
fight like
went
they do in
after
hockey. Let them fight for a while.
Perez.
You know,
But yeah, check out your weekly ATG. They're always showing us love. They like edit our stuff in. You guys have no obligation to do that, but it looks cracked out because we're just ATG.
Move
fans.
the guy to DH.
They just watch ATG now. Get that stuff going. But 149 is out.
Welcome. ATG 149, the show where I spit on myself weekly.
40 views. Pump these guys up.
And Nova
More people
poops in the
find them, like,
background.
I don't think every week.
Bonnie,
But roadmap for today.
newly
Talk some
minted
college baseball.
21-year-old.
I put the title as
Baseball
talk
historian
about a
Mo
little bit
Jordan.
about extrasensory
Per
perception.
usual.
Why baseball
What
players
do you
aren't
know,
using
Mo?
that, which baseball
What
players
do you
probably
know?
are.
I got birthday.
The classic
Cuban outfielder.
classic life of a guest
Featured
hitter.
on
You know,
the
he was a
hit
guest hitter in college. It was like, this one's coming. If you throw it up and hit it.
He plays
presumptions.
for the New York
that's
Cubans.
how you get good at
He
hitting.
Yeah.
was the
I've always
subject
liked
of
the
a
art of
screenshot. For
pitching more
Cubans,
than anything. I just think
birthday.
pitching is badass.
Cuban outfielder.
Oh, see, really work.
Especially the battle between the pitcher and the hitter.
So nice for those guys.
I always like those pitchers where like they throw their like signature pitch,
Oh.
and the batter hits it, and they're like, I want to throw it again because you're not going to hit it a second time.
Whoop.
You know.
Let's get the camera on you. Yeah. What was I seeing today? There's some fastballer,
Probably.
Jim Maloney, on Twitter. So he threw harder than Sandy Koufax, threw 2 no-hitters in one season.
Shit.
Never really
legends.
heard of him, but again, it was like prior to my era. But it was like you knew it was coming. It was a fastball. You still couldn't hit that.
Exactly.
That's some Steve Dalkowski type stuff, frankly. But
It's like you're not gonna hit my shit.
yeah.
I do want to go throw some baseballs. I want to get on the mound and hurl some to
you
the
are
plate.
pitching. Oh, we should tweet out our show. Let me see if anybody else. So we're live right here.
I'm the worst pitcher in the fucking world. I'll say that though.
Let's go to our channel and then I'll tweet out that we're live right now. That's one thing I did. Maybe that was like the one time. Maybe that was like the first time like Bonnie showed. And I also think I figured out how to get the Magic Jack into our like headphones. Let's go here. There you are. Go share, copy, and then I'm going to tweet right here. Do a tweet. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I'm at the Bot Lebowski. I keep going through the Bot Lebowski Larry Sellers portion. Oh, here he is. Let me go to my screen share thing.
So Jake posted this thing on Twitter, and he posted a picture of, like the blue Kansas City Royals uniforms, and it says best unis in baseball. I'll highly disagree and say those Montreal Expos were some of the best uniforms in
There's
baseball.
some great uniforms out there. So here's the dude, Jim Maloney. I don't throw as hard as Jim Maloney. Nobody throws as hard. Only guy who can simply overpower. You know he's going to throw a fastball. You can set for it, but you still can't shot it. That's Gibson. I guess that's Bob Gibson, not Josh, at that point because he played that era. Yes, he's faster than Koufax, said Aaron. So let's just go do some baseball reference and do some Jim Maloney. There's Ted Strong. Baseball reference, Jim Maloney.
Jim Bologna sounds like a sandwich.
Maloney Bologna. They should have had a Maloney sandwich. Look at this
Can
guy.
I get a Jim Bologna?
Apparently this guy threw cheddar. Fresno. California, Berkeley. Little dirty hippies out there. Let's take a look at his numbers. He was at Cincinnati. That dude was a 20-game winner twice. All-star. Let's look at his innings to strikeout. I should be better at my sabermetric stuff. You know?
Oh, you're still doing that, right? You're still trying to get your
Well, yeah,
certificate?
because I put too much on my plate, but I'm trying to get Saber certified. But yeah, his strikeouts per 9 led the league that year.
I would be too inclined to believe anything. A person who was Saber certified, I'd believe anything they said.
Yeah, that's the sketch I'm going for. Is that I'm
Like Nolan Ryan was the best hitter of all time. Oh, exactly. Saber guy said it, so it's true.
best that guy. Guess that guy. Let's see what he did in the minors. Like, is it J.R. Richard and the Miners? Or those dudes are just throwing heat.
So
The 19-year-old came up. It was just heat got him to the show. So there's that one. That's Jim Maloney, folks. Random factoid. I'm selling roadmap for today is what you're doing at school and surviving. Life in general in Dutch Chattahoochee world.
in the escuela.
ATG check-in, local colleges check-in, baseball card-a-palooza, and then the madness of my mind regarding, I think, what are probably our untapped into powers to use our subconscious, as well as sort of like telepathically communicate with each other. And I've always said, and I've said this, you might have heard me say this before, Dutch, but like the batter is perfectly situated to telepathically intercept the catcher-pitcher's meeting of the mind, right? Because he's flashing the signals. Or like even the situation where you got Scherzer's calling the pitch, his brain is right over between the catcher and the pitcher, catching the brain waves between. He could steal them if he really focused on ESP. ESP.
Speaking of brain things,
Yeah.
know what experiment I've always wanted to do
Yeah.
is the no sleep experiment.
Oh, don't do that.
I've always wanted to see like what my mind and what I would do personally if I didn't sleep for what it was, however long they do it for. I think that'd be kind of cool to experience not sleeping for like a week or something, just to see where my mind would go.
Do you want to hear the Dr. Death story?
You talk about the wrestler?
No, Dr. Death from the CIA, Central Intelligence Agency.
So who was this guy?
This is everything I ever learned about sleep. I'm going to tell you right now.
Okay.
This is should I go with Turnstile Cam?
Remember, sleep is not cream. It's
Put up the Marine Corps again.
It's sleep ruins everything around you.
It's a Marine Corps story. So Infantry Officer Course, Quantico, Virginia. A lot of sleep deprivation obviously involved in military operations. You just don't know when you're going to get sleep. You just got to make shit happen. And this guy came and they go, we got a class today. We have a doctor from the CIA. So we thought that was pretty cool, It's like, well, the CIA guy's here. We're going to kick us a class. And they called him Dr. Death. And I was like, oh, this is going to be fucking awesome. CIA guys, they have Dr. Death. He gave like a 4-hour class on sleep. And it was like straight up sleep inducing. But it was so long. It was such a long class. All I did was talk about sleep. I don't know if it was some kind of joke, but here's the two things I remember about it. He goes, dude, when you lay down at night, look at the clock when you close your eyes and go to sleep. And then when you wake up again, look at the clock. That time that your body and your brain has chosen that it needs rest for, only moves by about a minute on one side or the other. It's almost like perfectly dialed the cycle that your brain chooses to go into like REM sleep, go through 2 cycles of that, and then come out. And I was like, yeah, whatever. There's no way. Because you wake up at all hours. He was right.
I used to work with a guy who he was in the service. I can't remember which branch, but he's like, all you need is an hour of sleep a day, and that's it. I'm like, no.
No, you can't. Can't hack your sleep, and I'll put it on you. The other thing the dude
You
said,
need more than 1 hour of sleep a day. Like, I sleep 3 hours and I can manage, but I'm like slightly barely awake. So if you only slept an hour a day, how do you function?
I don't know. It's
Because
like,
you would start to trip out, I would think.
well, that's the other second fact that I
Yeah.
remember, because that was like a long class. So the only one thing I remember is the amount of sleep the body needs. Because like no matter how much you deprive it, it's gonna find a way to make up. Like if I was like a 7.5 guy, it's like if you don't get that, it will find a way to claw that and get that eventually back. And he talked about this DJ who did exactly what you're talking about. He did
What's that?
the sleep deprivation.
Oh, yeah, I remember that story, yeah.
Like he stayed awake for like 6 or 7 days.
It fucks with your brain big time, though. There's like permanent effects.
Permanent damage.
Yeah.
He permanently effed up his brain because your brain needs sleeps. And he was like a really funny, like kind of gregarious DJ dude before. And then go, dude, after he did that, it's a different person, man. He burned out a part of his brain that needs that to recharge, and he was just like kind of like this, like not a really, gregarious, fun guy. After this, just like it was different. So
Because I wonder, like, what you do in that experiment. Are you allowed to do your normal things that you normally do in life, except you don't sleep? Or Or do you have to like literally just stay in a room or something?
I want to do the experiment where you get to sleep as much as you want, whenever you want, and then there's like 8 TVs, and you can just pick whichever like baseball game you want. College, WBC, Taiwan, Cuba. Is that an experiment they're doing? Because I want to do that one.
They should throw in some. What do you call it? The Pecos League. Throw that in there too.
Yeah, Pecos League. What's up with those guys? We gotta keep
Independent.
track of- I don't know how you get done on the phone, but that gotta be a guy I gotta talk to. But all right, anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about, man. I am sleep deprived. I didn't really sleep last night, so we're gonna go with there. I have a couple things written down.
Especially said if you woke up at 3 a.m, dude.
ATG is one of them. Check.
You know what?
Oh, you got some snacks there. You're going to get into it.
I got a little corn dog. It doesn't have a stick, but it's a corn dog.
Joe Jimenez.
I'm so hungry.
Joe Jimenez was a total flippin' stud at TLU last year, went off. And then I, DM'd their athletic department. I was like, what happened to Jimenez? I thought he was a junior. I don't see him even on your roster. They go, no, he's a grad transfer to UIW. First, week or so into the UIW season, dude's not even playing. I was like, this guy was league MVP type caliber player, and he's not getting at bats at UIW. And then the next weekend series after I texted that, he went off and hit 2 bombs against Houston. But Seguin River Monsters making good out there. Ray Mendoza at University Incarnate Word. If we can go back to do some display capture action and look at some UIW stuff. That's Texas State. Here's UIW, 3-6, not too hot. But Jimmy De Leon, River Monster. I need Warren Laster to get more playing time. I love me some Warren Laster. Don't get me wrong. But Jimmy De Leon is having a great year. He is on base 382, and he's got 2 ding-dongs. But Ray Mendoza got really hot because he didn't start out like that either. He's 12 for 35. He's batting 343. Joe Jimenez got 2 bombs of the year now. He went off on one of those games. But to your guys, Texas State Bobcats, you want to know what's up? 6-2.
You want me to talk about it?
Guess what Jose Gonzalez is batting right now? Because he was batting 800 after the Northwestern series.
Let me see. I'm not sure.
He is hitting 519. Hitting 519 with 4 homers.
I will say
3 doubles. Slugging over 1,000. His on base is 622. I know it won't last forever, but dude, the guy can hit. And if you want other crazy early season stats we could have predicted,
what's that?
Our man who has signed the Tom Seaver board, Luke Malone. Take some guesses on his minuscule ERA. 14 innings pitched, 0.64 ERA, less than 1 after 2 games. And if you're a Major League Baseball scout out there and wondering about Luke Malone, 14 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts, 1 earned run, and how many walks? 1. The dude doesn't walk people. You ain't getting a free pass, Luke.
Isn't he a 5th-year senior? Or
yeah, because he had a
graduated
COVID year, so there's some extra eligibility left in there, which is sweet for them. But I don't really know if you're a professional organization what you're waiting on with that dude. You need to give that guy some run.
Dude presents himself as a pro. Can you meet him?
At the minor league level, and he's probably the type of, because he's not a 98 mile an hour guy. He's a 90 guy with sick off speed. You're just off balance the entire time. Luke Malone. Got Slammin' Sammy and Josh Killeen doing some good things behind the plate. Very solid platoon happening right there. Leading batter for your UTSA Roadrunners right now is Leighton Berry hitting 415. You got some Caleb Hill with 4 doubles. And then Poston. Look at Poston. Poston's kind of doing it again based on balls, but also is Antonio Valdez. He's hitting 400, but he's also got 8 base on balls. Interesting. All right. We'll run back around, but we got UTSA stuff. Incarnate Word, Texas State, of course, for Dutch. I should check up on the University of Nebraska.
Texas State ran to the roadblock this weekend when they played Oral Roberts.
Oral Roberts.
They took the first game, but they unfortunately fell the last 2. But Oral Roberts is a badass team.
Are
So
they?
like, yeah. So there's no like,
we were saying
like,
stuff.
damn it. Like I knew like it'd be a tough series. You know what I'm saying?
Let's look at Oral Roberts baseball, by the way. Because Oral Roberts, that's a good Sam Kinison joke. Oral Roberts.
Was that the
I
guy that-
saw a 900-foot Jesus in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's
Was that the guy that always wore the trench coat? Like
yeah, Sam Kinison.
because if I remember correctly, Kevin Smith. That's why he always would wear one as Silent Bob, because he kind of took that from Sam Kinison. Because I think that was like his favorite comedian, I believe.
Sam
before he-
Kinison is one of the funniest dudes ever.
I've never seen his shit.
He's so good. I can't do it justice because he was like a screamer. That thing's still playing. He was a screamer, but check out some Sam Kinison. Maybe I can pull him up, go down a Sam Kinison path. But he had like the comedians, you know, they'll like make a CD or an album of a show, and I had this Sam Kinison CD in my truck for my entire like military career. I think I just put that thing like you know how you come in my van and it's just Beastie Boys, that one CD the entire time.
I think since I've known you, it's been that same CD.
I have like 2 CDs. But yeah, it was like a Sam Kinison CD for like 4 years of my life. It was so funny. He opens his set with like making fun of drinking and driving laws and maybe like Jesus or something. Like he just goes off. But his joke was he goes drinking and driving. He goes drinking and driving. Shit, we don't want to, but there's no other way to get the car back to the fucking house, man. Like, how am I supposed to get home? I don't want to drink and drive. I've got to. But no, don't drink and drive, people. But check out some Sam Kinison. Let's go. Let me go like this, and I'll pull up. You want me to pull up? It's delayed for you, but should I pull up a Sam Kinison clip?
Sure.
All right, let's go here. I had like 2. Oh, okay, that's this. I think did I tweet it out? I don't know.
Because Kevin Smith always talks about that guy in interviews and stuff, where he's an inspiration, but I just never checked out his shit.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Kinnison is too funny. So let's find some Sam Kinison.
What was that
bits.
other guy? Fuck, that was like Ace or something. He wore a leather jacket. He thought he was like a greaser.
Oh, Dice Clay.
There we go, Dice Clay. I said Ace because I was thinking of like dice or cards or something, right?
Yeah, I think this is from the special. I think I can go to OBS. I'll turn on the desktop
Guy,
sound.
fuck, that was like
Go to display
Ace or
capture,
something.
and then I can
He
come
wore a
back
leather
here.
jacket. He thought he was like a.
Pretty
He
funny.
was
He's
like a
talking about
Dice
if Jesus
Clay.
had a
there
wife.
we go, Dice Clay. I said Ace because I was thinking of like dices,
And I don't know if I can
like dice
turn
or
this on for you.
I'm
cards
reading
or
this.
something, right?
It's an exciting story, but I read it and I thought, I know Jesus was never married. Guy never
Yeah,
had
I
a
think
wife.
this is from
He was
the.
never married.
This
Because
is
no
from the
wife
special. I
Echo.
think I can
would
go
buy
to
this story in 100
OBS.
years.
But-
I'll turn on the desktop.
The disciples will, the believers
But
will.
hopefully,
No
'cause
wife
the
would buy
sound
this fucking story. Good luck. Good luck with
Wore a
this
leather
story.
jacket.
First of all, he leaves on Friday
talking about
afternoon.
Jesus had a
There we
wife.
go,
Well,
Dice
the
Clay.
guy-
I said Ace because I was thinking of like dice. Didn't he kind of die by the girl overdose or something?
No, it's so sad. He actually got
He's gone for
killed by
3
drunk driving.
days.
Now he's drunk driving jokes.
No
He's like
message,
driving
no
out to
way
Vegas
to
from LA and drunk
Yeah,
driving.
I think this is from.
He comes home Monday afternoon looking like he had a slap.
That doesn't sound like a good time.
But no,
What is that called? Ironic or no? There's something where you
sad irony on tragic.
irony there.
First of all, he leaves on Friday afternoon.
Like even of these jokes.
Well, glad you can find your way home, Savior.
Like what do you always say? I was like, kill me. That's what you always say.
Disciples might have
Talking over the clip, but yeah, check out this.
You're not gonna be smarter than the dogs. Put them on the feet.
I love the headline. It's insanely funny. Like it's not just funny. What is that called? Ironic?
Oh, Ricky, what else I have? ATG goings ons. Joe Jimenez went off. I'm glad to see the college baseballs. We go through WBC's coming out.
Like what do you always say? I was like,
Taiwan. But you know how ATG puts awesome music in their stuff?
I love the headline. It's
like
insanely funny. Like,
Bonnie and them.
what is that called? Ironic?
Oh, Ricky, what else I have? I feel like Bonnie and them would enjoy this documentary I found on Ricky Powell. Do you know who Ricky Powell is?
Heard the name, but the face doesn't seem to appear. No.
His name shows up in a Beastie Boy lyric on Paul's Boutique where it says, "Homeboy, throw in the towel. Your girl got dicked by Ricky Powell."
Was it? Who am I thinking of? Wasn't there like a? Isn't there like a politician, something Powell or? Fuck, dude. Who am I thinking of?
I don't know.
I don't know. Probably not the right person.
But Ricky Powell, and he just died, I think, last year, which is kind of sad.
Like
but,
Dirty Carrie Kluber, or whatever his name was, Dirty. Yeah.
But he kind of just like knew Ad Rock because he grew up in the same neighborhood a little bit in New York City. And so he went to like school with those dudes. And then he just like was a hang around. And he got himself this like Minolta AF2 camera that like an ex-girlfriend left him. And he just started snapping pics at all the shows, like behind the scenes. And he had also like a frozen lemonade stand that he just like worked on the street corner, and he would just like snap people's pictures that would like come up to it. But he was like in the Greenwich Village or whatever in New York City. So like famous ass people like Andy Warhol would be like walking around. He'd like Cindy Crawford or some shit. He'd take a picture of him. But his pictures are pretty dope. I'll show you some.
I always like when bands or musicians name drop people in their songs.
Yeah, so he just ended up, he said it was like the Run DMC Beastie Boys tour. He was like just sitting at his Frozade stand, and he was like opened a big like newspaper, and he saw that they were in Florida touring. He's like, oh man, fuck, I want to be there so bad. So he just went and parked his Frozade stand and like locked it up wherever they lock it up at, and spent like his last few dollars to fly to Florida. And then he got like some hillbillies to drive him to the stadium where the concert was. And he just like knocked on the back door of the stadium, was like, hey, security guy, go tell Ad Rock that the Rickster is here. And Ad Rock came out and was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing here? He's like, I was in the neighborhood. So then he just came in and hung out with those dudes the rest of that entire tour. And he took some insane photos. Here's, I don't know, man. Ricky Powell's photos. This is cool. He taking pictures of everybody, man. But he's some interesting stuff. Here's Minor Threat for the punk people. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's just random shit.
That's like when bands name drop people. That's like Blink-182 has a song called Lemmings. And they have one of the lyrics is when Mark Eaton got beat to shit. I'm like, who the fuck is Mark Eaton?
Mark Eaton played for the
Mark
Jazz.
Eaton. See, but I don't think it's an NBA player. So maybe I don't know. Who the fuck are they talking about? Who's Mark Eaton? Maybe they had a friend named Mark Eaton. I don't know. But it was just like, that's why I like when bands and musicians do that. It's always cool because you can find out about somebody. Like, oh shit, this is what they were talking about. Yeah, I don't think it was a jazz player. But it could be. I mean, maybe he got his ass handed to him one day after a game, and Blink-182 wrote a song about it. And I don't know.
And here's the thing about, I love it when dudes will get referenced, and he was like the unofficial fourth Beastie. But the interesting thing to me also about that is like he had no photographic training. Like he just grabbed this thing and started clicking, and some of the shots are so good. I was like, God, like what kind of gear did this guy use? This is like 80s, like Minolta autofocus camera. And I found one on eBay. They're like $100 on eBay.
What kind of camera?
It's like a Minolta AF2 from the 80s or something.
Oh, like a film camera?
Yeah, it's like a 35. Yeah. So I bought some 35 millimeter film, and then I bought this thing off eBay. It's going to come in like next week. And then I'm just start snapping 35 mil pics.
Yeah, I have a camera with some film. I've used it a few times. It's really hard.
Yeah,
it's really hard to use.
The film, yeah.
So Samantha left a comment when I was talking about Colin Powell.
Oh, Colin Powell.
Yeah, former
she knows your mind.
Secretary of State. Because I knew there was some fucking famous person in politics with the last name Powell, but I was like, who the fuck is it? So
let me get the camera on you.
What for?
Talk about Colin Powell.
I don't know shit about the guy.
I think it's Colin.
I just know he was a politician. That's all I know.
I read that dude's autobiography. It's pretty interesting, actually. You want to know some interesting factoids about him?
You know some?
About Colin Powell?
Yeah.
Heritage-wise from Jamaica.
Oh shit.
But grew up around New York, and he loved fucking fixing up old shitty Volvos.
Since the camera's on me, try to just eat a corn dog while you talk.
Yeah, just eat that way. Colin Powell loved fixing up old Volvos. I can't say the car. Volvos, the Swedish car.
Volvo.
Yeah.
Volvo. Yeah.
He says in his autobiography, he's like, there was something about them, the way, like, you know, like IKEA or whatever, like Swedish or something, the way they manufacture is like real easy. Everything kind of fit together the same way every time. Even on like newer versions, I understood how to fix them. And so I'd always buy like a beater, and they run good. Once you fix them up, they'd run just fine. And I just find one, and it was like kind of my zen, my relaxation from the stress of work was to just like tinker and eventually like fix one of these things up. And then when he would paint it, he's like, I never used any like fancy like auto paint. I just buy flipping house paint and a brush and like just paint. It's like fix up a shitty Volvo, paint it, and then resell it. And he just uses like, I must have done that 30 times.
I guess you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, and I think when he retired, I don't know if it was like before he was like the Joint Chiefs or like when he like left the Defense Department, because he had like a number of jobs where he like kind of went in retirement for a few years, and like President called him back out. One of his retirement gifts was everybody like pitched in and they bought him like a shitty Volvo for $800, and that was his going away gift.
I'm sure he was. Dude, he was stoked.
He was like, "This is the perfect gift." Like, it's like 6 months of just like relaxing and working on it.
You ever seen those people though who buy cars and they spray paint them themselves? It just looks like shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't look right.
But I like Colin Powell because he was down with G.W. Bush, our greatest president, in my personal opinion. He should be the commissioner of baseball.
Are you talking about the dad or the son?
The son, G-Dub.
Oh, you were a fan. Okay.
He was a party animal. Yeah, people don't like it because he started the war, but I was like, bro.
Look, I like George W. Bush.
Yeah.
I was when he was president, I was very young because 2001 when he was president, I was in ninth grade.
Ninth grader, freshman.
I was in art class when the 9/11 thing happened, and we had this dude in our class. It was like, "We're fucked, man. We're fucked. New York is fucked. All the money's gonna be gone. We're all gonna die now. Terrorist attacks." I'm like, "Dude, chill the fuck out."
It was a very uncertain time, that's for sure.
I didn't honestly have a reaction. I was like, "Oh, I didn't really care."
I don't know. I just knew something was gonna pop off.
Like
and
I like America. I like this country, but I'm not like hardcore. Go USA. Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I just the wars that happened and the reasons for them. I'll just say this. I don't know. Like Saddam Hussein and his kids weren't really. They were like horrible people. They were like serial murderers and rapists. So like,
crazy,
if they didn't have weapons of mass destruction, they still were like mass murderers of like Kurds and stuff like that. So they were bad dudes. And then Afghanistan was Afghanistan. That's where like, you know, Hussein or rather, Bin Laden was hiding out, right? So you had to do that. I was like, after 9/11, you can't tell me with any president, whether it was him or somebody else, something was going to happen. Somebody's cage was going to get shook, and you know. But anyway, and he's a big like George W. Bush is just a baseball man.
Certain countries or some people in general.
Back off politics.
I would say people in general or countries, whoever. There are just some people who, no matter what you tell them, are going to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
So.
What you can do, but that's.
But I will keep my opinions to myself about 9/11.
Yeah,
because everybody has different opinions on that matter.
Let's see what other stuff. Do you want to go through some baseball cards? I put the camera on you before I pull up. I had some random ass baseball reference pages up.
All right, so I'll actually get up and walk to the camera. Actually, no.
Okay, I can put the camera on you, homie. This is Dutch cam. You can just hold it right up.
All right,
and I'll tell you if you can see it.
I have 5 cards here that I picked out last night.
That's nice.
And I have a story to go with these cards.
Okay, this is good.
So. It's based off the facial reactions of how they look, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. You ready for this story?
Yeah, yep.
This guy's name is Tim Stoddard. Played for the Yankees.
You want me to hold it up to the Dutch cam?
Yeah. So, oh shit, didn't drop and stuff. All right.
I learned from Bonnie and Jake that like tilt it.
That's Tim Stoddard, right? New York Yankees. If you look at his face, so this there's a story. So here's how the story starts. This guy is barbecuing with his family on the 4th of July, right? Just barbecuing with his family.
Yeah.
And the reason he looks like that is because he notices something. he notices. So this guy's over there listening to the Doobie Brothers, just barbecuing with his family 4th of July, having a
Are you
good time.
saying this look is the scenario that you're building?
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah, it's a scenario. So this guy, Tim Stoddard, is barbecuing, having a good time, until he hears some music across the street, some music.
Let me pull up a bigger. They do the stories all
Yeah,
go together.
it's a-
Okay.
yeah, it's a-
Let me find an image of the Tim Stoddard '87 flair for everybody.
This is a look of, okay, he's barbecuing with his family, 4th of July. He's listening to the Doobie Brothers, right?
All right.
And across the street, he hears some Kid Rock shit, right? Some Kid Rock type music. Southern rock, I don't know.
Here it is.
Leonard Skinner, we'll say that. Okay?
All right, this is good. I got the image up now. So let me go here, and then I'm going to do screen capture so people can see the cards we're talking about. So Tim Stoddard looks like this, folks. And he's barbecuing, and he hears some Kid Rock.
Yeah, we're going to say Leonard Skinner because this is in the 80s. So,
Skinner.
so this guy, Tim Stoddard.
That is a funny look. Look at that.
Yeah. So Tim Stoddard, he's listening to the Doobie Brothers, barbecuing on the 4th of July with his family.
Is he roasting a bowl?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then...
Or no, he wouldn't be doing that with his family.
So he's staring at the guy playing the music. And the guy playing the music notices Tim Stoddard staring at him, which is Brian Meyer from the Astros, right?
All right, Brian Myers from the Astros. Here, hold that one up to Dutch Cam.
Okay.
Brian Meyer, and then I'll go pull that up.
Yeah. So this guy...
So this is the guy blaring the music.
Yeah, like I said, Tim is blaring Doobie Brothers. This guy's blaring Leonard Skinner. Tim does not like Leonard Skinner. So he's staring at this guy, kind of like giving the look of like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, this is a neighborhood with family values. Can you keep it down? So Brian Myers notices that Tim is staring at him. So what does Tim do? Tim looks right back at him, and they're eyeballing each other,
Okay,
right?
so these dudes, I got to find this car. What year is that, Don Ross? Do you know?
Um,
Am I spelling Myers?
1989.
Myers, right?
Yeah, it's in 1989. Brian Myers.
How do you spell Brian?
B-R-I-A-N.
That's why I got B-R-Y.
Yeah, B-R-I-N. Meyer, 640. Donruss, 89.
See if I can find this guy. There it is. Okay, so this is the
guy blaring Skinner, right? Leonard Skinner. So Tim stares at him to kind of tell him, like, hey, turn it down. What are you doing? And Brian Meyer notices Tim staring at him, so they both just stare at each other, right?
He's got a strong stash right there, buddy.
Yeah.
And he looks pissed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Pissed.
So he's like, this is my home. It's within the noise level hours. I can listen to.
I can listen to some fucking.
Yeah,
Skinner.
as loud as I want.
Yeah.
So these guys are just staring at him. Brian's getting pissed.
Because I love where you're going with this. In your mind, like, what Skinner? Are we just Sweet Home Alabama?
Yeah.
Are we just like Freebirding it?
Yeah.
Or he's just listening to the whole album.
He just
on repeat.
in general.
And this is right. This is the boom box with the tape, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's in his garage. He's like in his. He's grilling like in the garage, like front area of the house, so you can hear.
So we
it.
got a family man grilling,
Yeah.
and then a neighbor redneck.
Yeah, they're both
grilling
grilling like in the front of their house, so they can
Okay.
see each other. So then Ernie Witt.
Oh, what year done, Russ? Is that Ernie?
This
Witt?
is a, you know what? 1988 Donruss 394. Donruss 88 394 Ernie Witt. Ernie Witt.
Let's see if I can find that one. There it is.
So this fucking guy here, Ernie Witt, she's like sitting there like he's listening to this like stare down and they're like listening to the other two guys argue back and forth. So this guy's just staring like, huh, ain't this interesting? And he's just there for the show. He's just listening.
He's laughing.
Yeah, he's like
Ernie Witt's laughing his ass off.
Ernie Witt's like,
He thinks that's hilarious.
this shit always happens. It's the 4th of July. Why can't we get along? So here comes Dickie Thon, right?
The legend,
So,
the Puerto Rican legend.
This
Thon.
is an Upper Deck 92.
People forget Dickie
150.
Thon was still sporting that mustache into the 90s.
So Ernie Witt's like, huh, these sons of bitches are at it again. He's just there to listen and watch. He doesn't care. He's drinking his Bud Light. He's about 12 in. He's fucking drunk. He doesn't care. So then Dickie
Ernie Witt don't give a shit.
Yeah. So Dickie Thon he's the guy who's just sitting there watching everything, watching Ernie Witt not give a shit and watching the other guys argue. At the same time, like, I'm having a good time over here. I have my family. I have some hamburgers and hot dogs on the grill. I don't give a fuck.
And Dickie Thon, he's just what?
He's just like, you know what? I'm having a good time. These guys are fucking crazy.
Where is this guy on this? Where's Dickie on the street?
They live in a cul-de-sac.
Is he next? Oh, these guys are all kind of like.
It's a cul-de-sac, so
Okay.
they're all within range of each other.
Let me get back to Dutch Cam. This is gold content.
And Dickie
honestly.
Thon is just like, he's like, you know what? I don't know what these guys' problems are, but I'm having a good old time. I'm feeling good. You know, I got some burgers and hot dogs on the grill.
Yep.
Fuck it, 4th of July, America.
4th of July in America. These 4 ball players, and then what happens?
So the final part of this story is out of nowhere. The famous chicken, the San Diego chicken, just comes running down the street.
Just running out.
He's like barreling down the street.
Does he clothesline anybody or do any funny chicken stuff, like put his little beak over the top?
Yeah,
of
he
the head?
does. What he does is he clotheslines Brian Meyer and Tim Studdard. He's like, fucking drop the act, man. It's 4th of July. Everybody get along. It's America. It's holiday.
San Diego
It's-
chicken shows up.
It's like goddamn America's birthday. Respect it. So he does a clothesline. And then, you know, everybody goes back to their business. Everybody gets along. No more arguments. The music gets turned down to a reasonable level. And everybody just enjoys their 4th of July.
San Diego chicken ruptured the stress. There's a lot of.
You know what it was, though? You know, maybe if Tim Stoddard and Brian Meyer would have been drunk off whiskey, it would have been all right. But
That's a great piece of art there, Dutch. I like the story that you painted. Here's all the chicken cards. Here's the chicken card you were showing right there.
yeah, the was it the
famous chicken. There
from
he
Don
is.
Russ 92.
Look at the air that
So,
chicken's getting there.
I have like 10,000 cards. Well, I'll probably have like close to 20,000 cards or something. And I was just going through some last night. I was like, how can I want to piece a story together with these cards.
And it says on your card, the famous chicken was
Yeah.
hatched in 1974.
It's like
This day in history.
the 1980s cards are like the best cards ever.
There's a lot of chicken cards. He made it to 83, Don Ross. That's a nice card.
Yeah.
That's San Diego. There's some good mascots out there.
What's crazy about is like cards is like you can buy a badass card for like $2.
Yeah, those are cool. All these chicken cards are like $4 I don't know. That's great, buddy. I love that. That's our best segment today. That's our best segment today
Like-
by far.
Like when I'm doing cards, my wife will be doing like schoolwork on the computer, and if I find a funny looking card, I'll go to her like, look at this fucking guy.
Look at this guy.
And I always pitch a scenario like this guy looks like the type of guy that's whatever.
Are you posting all this stuff on Twitter too? Because sometimes like you'll
Yeah.
run like an old like 1960s NFL kicker with like a comb over.
Yeah.
You know, he's just got like one strand of hair going across the top. He's got the little bar. Like
little
that's
toasty
good
tail.
stuff. Yeah, turn on this heater. It's cold in here. I turned the. Oh, Monclava! It's time to buy tickets for the Missions Mexican League stuff. I don't know.
I saw them posted on Facebook or something. The season's about to start too, which I'm excited for.
I got my Vladdy Guerrero AAA.
I feel like he's going to lead the league in homers this year, if not top 2.
Let's hope Judge does. I got my Venetian wager up there. That pays like $600
You
or something.
picked Judge, what? Is that who you picked to lead the league?
I picked him because the odds were like 6-1, which I thought it should have been closer to 3-1 because I feel like he's probably going to be in the top 3.
Yeah.
And then you have the huge advantage of Yankee Stadium. So I was like, it's probably closer to 2-1. There's no way he's not in the final running.
Can you imagine if Aaron Judge played at Colorado Stadium at Coors Field?
Yeah.
Dude would have had 100 homers.
That's like the Vinny Castilla numbers where Vinny Castilla's like, what's he? I think he's like the coach or bench coach or something for WBC,
Probably.
Team Mexico. I don't know.
I don't know.
Let's see what else. What else did I randomly dig into? That was the best thing. ATG Discord things going on. ATG doing things.
There's definitely a lot of activity on that Discord.
But Roadrunners are 8-2. That's another thing. WBC starts March 8th. Cuba versus the Netherlands. Oh, I'm sorry, the 7th, March 7th, and then you got a whole bunch of games kicking
You
off.
want to hear something interesting?
Yes, I do.
Well, it's not super interesting, but it is.
Oh, let me give you some bump music. I picked out a whole bunch for today. Let me see what you think of this.
Nebraska baseball is 3-3, right? Not bad. So they had a game on Monday, February 20th, which was that was a while back. But anyway, so they played a game that ended in a 7-inning tie. You want to know what the score was?
What's that?
16 to 16.
16 to 16. Oh,
Yep,
damn.
it ended in a 7th inning tie. I am interested in the box score of that game because, like, what the fuck? How do you give up 16 runs?
Let's see.
I guess they had a bad game, dude. Here we go. Where's the pitching at on this shit? There we go. Earned run 1-1-1, 4-2. Yeah, so I mean, only 8 of those were considered earned runs, but I guess that's half, so that's not very good. But still, I mean, there was a lot of pitchers. That was crazy. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. They used 8 pitchers that game.
8?
Nebraska.
Damn.
And the most on average, it was like 2 innings, like 2/3 of an inning, 1 inning. Like they didn't pitch a lot. 16 to 16 though.
That's a crazy. That's a crazy game. What was the? I tweeted some weird ass like Pac-10 game. It was like Stanford, Cal State, Fullerton or something. And I looked at the score. It was like 21 to 13, but it was the 10th inning. I was like, how'd you get a 9-run lead in the 10th inning? It was insane. They went off. Dude.
It was an MLB game. What was that game like a couple years ago where it was like a huge? I can't remember what team it was, but they scored a shit ton of runs. And I'm trying to remember, but I can find it if I look it up.
Jim Konisberger at Jim from Baseball found the roster of all the Negro League All-Stars that went with Bismack
There we go.
to
I
Japan.
found it. I found the game.
Nice.
It was the Braves and somebody else.
I want to say it was Bill Yard was asking me to run down like Illinois. No, it's Jim Myers. Let's see, Jim was gonna. Let's see here. Illinois baseball. Well, guess what, Jim Myers? We are going to talk about Illinois boys baseball. This is the flip we do. Let's look up some Illinois baseball. We looked at a Ricky Powell post. Oh, here's a picture of.
Okay, so here we go. It was July 22nd, 2022. Toronto Blue Jays had 28 runs. Blue Jays had 28 runs. Boston Red Sox had 5.
28 to 5.
28 to, and then, that's insane, dude. They beat some ass. And then on September 9th of 2020, the Braves had 29 runs and the Marlins had 9. Like, dude, I would just be embarrassed as a baseball player if I gave up 29 runs and 28 runs.
That is.
Sometimes
just one of those days. Sometimes you eat the bar. Sometimes the bar eats you.
Didn't the Braves win the title in 2020? No, that was the Dodgers, right? I can't fucking remember. But all I know is I don't count the 2020 season. Didn't the Dodgers won the year? That's right, because it was the Rays and the Dodgers, I believe, in that World Series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is for Jim Myers, folks. We're gonna look at some Illinois baseball. 4-3 right now.
Not terrible.
Not terrible. They took it to Youngstown State. Youngstown, home of Boom Boom Mancini, got smoke checked by number 6 Wake Forest. Won the series. I think is that a conference game for those guys? 18 Southern Miss. I don't know, man. Southern Miss overrated. They're always ranked. It's like Illinois took them down twice, and then they're gonna be down in Texas there, Mr. Myers, being in Huntsville. That's where Texas fries people for the death penalty out there in Huntsville.
Did you
Oh, there's that one. Here's some more. What do you think of that? Like that one?
Do you see the baseball bat bros? The people they got in their recent episode? They got Petey, what's his name? Petey Kraska or whatever?
Oh, they got Petey back?
Yeah, they got him, and they got the guy with the swing that went all the way over his back.
That was Kraska, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got him, and they got some other guy, and I can't remember the other guy's name. I was like, hey, we were with those guys in Colorado.
Yeah, Kraska's, I think, a top 5 rounder.
But, like, his swing is so fast. You know what I'm saying?
It's insane bat speed.
It goes all the way around, but it's like, oh, it's like
insane
real quick.
bat speed. The guy is built to be like a...
You know who bats like that? If you...
like a Cecil Fielder kind of...
Jazz Chisholm, that's the kind of bats like that.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the bat Chisholm swing? It's like all the way around. Like when he swings, like all the way around when he comes back.
He reminds
so smooth.
He had like
so smooth.
Pete Incaviglia build, just a barrel-chested man, you know?
Yeah.
Barrel-chested man, and Hope for good things for Petey Kraske. You probably did break a world record. I just haven't filed my lawsuit against Guinness yet.
It's coming. When was that? 2021 or no? It was last year. It was last year. That's right.
I can't even keep track of anything.
I found my world record shirt the other day when I was going through my
Look
shirts.
at some.
This song is playing. It makes me sound like we're about to drop something important
Something important is.
on the horizon. I guess.
What? No, it's the Illinois stats. Here's your leaders for Illinois. We got tons of bombs. Everybody's with 2 homers.
It sounds like some fucking NBA 2K music right here.
NBA 2K.
Sounds good. No, I like it. But NBA 2K always has like, they always have like hip hop and they have some like slow jams like this. They never have enough rock.
Fudge. Check out these numbers. Jim Myers, a guy by the name of. Well, I'm doing the screen capture, right? So it's like Riley Goins, 1.34 ERA, 9.2 innings pitched, 18 Ks. What's this guy about? 6'3", 220? Look at that. That's a good picture of this guy. I can't zoom in on that. Look, his hair is going. Redshirt junior. All right. I might know more about baseball, Illinois baseball than Jim Myers realizes. So we got to check Illinois State if we're going to do due diligence, right? So let's go to Illinois State.
Oh, Riley Goins? Yeah, so I just saw his name pop up.
Baseball.
I feel like if you like rock a certain like a mustache and crazy hair, you're naturally going to be good. It's a given.
Isn't Illinois State where Bird went, right? Larry Bird?
Oh, he went to
Indiana State.
Yeah.
What am I talking about? All right, here's Illinois State. I want to say it's Illinois Tech. Back in the 80s, had a crazy coach. His name was like Ziggy or Iggy or something. Let's look at the schedule for Illinois State. Take a run around. That's the beauty of the call-in line, or if you actually interact with us, we're all about your stuff. Let's go to the schedule. Let's see what Illinois State's doing. 4-4, not bad. Do right that. Go here, look at some stats. Oh. 2023 stats. Somebody's got 3 ding-a-lings in 8 games by the name of Daniel Pasella.
I do like that logo, that little bird.
A little cardinal there or something, you know? 2 triples. Look at this guy down here with 2 triples. Augie Rasmussen. That's a hell of a name. He is batting .229, 8 hits, 2 doubles, 2 triples, and a homer. He has more extra base hits than singles. Total bases are kind of outrageous for a guy hitting .229. Like me some Augie Rasmussen. Let's take a look at their pitching. Any aberrations there? Yes. Derek Salata, sub-1 ERA, 17 strikeouts in 10 innings.
I mean, since we're talking about Illinois, I might as well talk about UIC, University of Illinois Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
They're 4-3 at baseball.
UIC, you want to start talking, well, once you really get into Illinois, you can go to like...
That's the one school that I'm really aware of is UIC. Don't know why.
That's good. Let's go to Illinois Tech baseball.
They're balling, dude. What's up?
Close, so there's some ATG love. Let's run around and look at...
There's a guy from UIC, AJ Hinkle, I think that's how you say his name. He's batting .368. Not bad, not
Because
bad.
you know who's from the city that was insane was Curtis Granderson, the Grandy man.
That dude was so good. I love Curtis Granderson.
He's from Chicago.
Didn't he play for the Yankees, Tigers, right? And
Tigers for a long time, but he
Yeah.
kind of went everywhere. He was like a no stride kind of guy for a while. Like he would just like toe tap or like bring his heel up, and God was an amazing athlete. I'm trying to look at schedule results. It's not really doing it. There we go. What are you? There's 0-0. That doesn't make any sense. Saturday? They just started? I don't know. I thought Illinois Tech was good at baseball. There's not going to be any stats there. Let's do some baseball reference. This is the guy. This is random factoid. This will come up later with the delay on the screen. Billy Grabarkowitz. Before we kicked it off today, before we kicked it off today, I was just like looking up what players have had those really weird one-off seasons, like just a total aberration. You know, like Brady Anderson hit like 50 homers one year, like every other season was like 16. You know, like what was just a random ass season in your professional career? And one of the dudes I came up with looking at that was a guy by the name of Billy Grabarkovitz. And I didn't know this about Billy Grabarkovitz. I was just like, oh, he played for the Dodgers, and then he was like kind of in the minors with Steve Garvey. And Billy Grabarkovitz also went to the Dominican with Lasorda, played for the Tigers del Licey, and I'm looking all this, and he had one season where he was like an all-star. He was freaking awesome. And then I'm doing all this rooting on this guy, and I go, I wonder where this guy's from. Guess where he's from?
Wyoming.
Alamo Heights.
Oh shit!
Right here.
Right down the street.
Right down the street. I was like, but I figured that out after I looked at him. He's from flipping Lockhart, and then his family moved here and went to Alamo Heights High School. It's like 5 minutes away, 2 minutes away from here. But look at his stats; they're really weird. He, does good in the minors. He was like a real prospect, good glove man. Gets 34 games. As a rookie, I guess he lost rookie status there, or maybe it was rookie of the year voting. 1970, he goes off. Almost hits 300, 17 dingers, 20 dubs, 84 bibbies, swipes 19 bases. He struck out a ton that year though. But anyway, every other year is just like ho hum, like barely cracking 225 over here, but he almost hit 300 in the majors. And then I read a Sabre bio. He was like a real prospect, and apparently he was a real, his nickname was Gabby, because he was always talking. But yeah, San Antonio guy. I didn't realize it, but that's a really weird one-off year, that 1970 for Billy Grabarkovitz. And I don't know if he retired. He was born in Lockhart. It's some good barbecue out there, by the way.
I saw that on MLB The Show.
Yeah.
That's coming out. One of the newest legends is going to be Jake Peavy.
Jake Peavy's
So
legend.
I have a bass amp made by the company Peavy.
Yeah.
And I would call it my Jake Peavy amp.
The PV amp?
Jake Peavy.
You can have the PV amp.
And I've had that fucking amp since like mid 2000s, so that's when Jake Peavy was balling.
Oh, that's what we're gonna do before. I was gonna look up Curtis Granderson.
Your favorite.
Curtis Granderson, 2004 to 2000. Is that guy a Hall of Famer? It might be. I don't really know. Guy did some amazing stuff.
At this point, I don't know who's the.
Yeah, I don't know who's a Hall of Famer anymore.
Well, because sometimes MLB, their reasoning for having some people and not some people and don't make any damn sense.
Let's take a look at the Grandy man.
It's like, do you want people in that are good, or do you just want people in who are favorites? Because
so Granderson went to University of Illinois at Chicago, and he gave a lot back to the school because the field there is named Curtis Granderson Field. It's right in the city.
This is my fake UIC chant. UIC. This doesn't make any sense, but what's
this
up?
is what I like to do with stadiums because I go.
I smell coffee. What's for coffee?
Probably UIC baseball Chicago. I don't know. I just want to go images. Show the Granderson Field. I think I could just go Curtis Granderson Field. It's a nice field, man. You did some cool stuff. Look at that. There's your Chicago skyline right there. It's all got the pro turfed out. Sweet. But it's right there in the city, man. That's a cool. Look at that shot right there. That's gorgeous. And I'm sure it wasn't that good when the Grandy man played there, but he gave back, and now look at that. That's a great place to go see a ballpark. Maybe Jim Myers will go up there. Look at Curtis Granderson. He's just a great man. Great man on a mission. Yeah, he's doing tons of charity stuff, man. He's just a good dude. I think he did sign some pretty huge contracts. And go look at his baseball reference, see what he's paid. Go down to this like little dollar. Yeah, see, he was like $3 million, $8 million, but then he did like from 2012 that New York Yankee contract or New York Met, like he's getting 10 million, 15, 13, 16, 16, 15. I don't really know how that'll work, but dude, he made about 100 mil right there last part of his career. Last year in the pros, he made 1.7 million.
That's good.
Not too shabby.
for normal people like myself, 1.5 million is quite a bit of money.
What do you do in the minors? He was just tore up in the minors, dude. But yeah, I think he was like a college guy. Like he got drafted 3rd round. Granderson, man, that guy could play ball. Guy could play ball. But then the other thing you can do with the, if you go to like maps or whatever, do like the aerial image of where this is. So like, there's look how centrally located. I mean, this is like all the stuff like the Miracle Mile or whatever, and like Wrigley's up here. But man, it's right in the middle of everything. Curtis Grant, you go to the satellite. Granderson Field, man. University of Illinois Chicago. Go down any rabbit hole anybody wants. Anyway, I don't know.
That shot just made it right in the basket.
But yep, there you go. There's some Illinois baseball for Jim Myers and Bill Yard. Trey Roberts, Jake, you want us to talk about some Kansas City stuff? They know all about Kansas City. They're the experts.
I remember when they won the World Series, and that was pretty much it. When was it? Like, I don't know. The recent one.
Oh, the recent one?
Yeah.
Did the Royals win it?
Uh-huh.
Or did they lose to the Giants at one time?
No, I'm pretty sure they won, dude.
Man, I got to check that.
I'm pretty sure they won.
I remember when they did it with, like, the George Brett years and all that, with Brett Saberhagen and Dan Quisenberry.
I do remember, though, when they did win,
yeah,
there was a lot of people that became Royals fans over in Texas. Like, yeah, man, Royals.
Let's look at their...
I like the Royals. I mean, I don't never, like, root for them or anything, but they're cool. I mean, you know.
The Royals got their... they're usually
2015, that's when it was.
Oh, did they win it?
Yeah.
What do I know?
You know that now. So 85, and I thought they've won more than that, but I guess not. Only 2. After they won their World Series, they've kind of been okay after
Managers. I don't know. Usually it shows that. Maybe it's up here at the top. They got, World Series titles. 85 was the one I remember, but I guess they did 2015.
I wasn't even born yet.
Speaking of Kansas City Royals stuff, I've seen 2 baseball documentaries lately that were both good, Kansas related. One of them was, and I'll find it and then share it, is called Late Life. And Late Life is about this, like, basically one of the best Taiwanese pitchers that's come out of Taiwan. Late Life, the Chin Ming Wang story. It's on Netflix or something. This is a pretty good flick. Right,
one of the greatest Royals ever, Cookie Rojas.
Cookie Rojas, but the Chin Ming Wang story is.
Oh shit! I remember that guy, Dan Quisenberry. I had no idea.
The quiz.
I remember that guy. Well, I don't remember him like playing in his playing years, but I remember. I know who he is because I mean, when he was playing, I wasn't really alive. I think his last year was '88 or something.
Yeah,
late '80s.
But this is a good movie. But he finished up with the Royals. He kind of had like dead arm. He's a big sinker baller. This guy right here, and but he finished up with the Royals, and he had a great like I can spell it right. Chin. Did I spell it right?
Oh yeah, so the Royals. Bonnie was saying that the Royals lost to the Giants in 2014, but then they won the next year.
That's right. Okay.
They were balling that time.
My brain doesn't work.
The Royals were balling that time. Like, I remember it was weird seeing the Royals be that good again, you know.
But this is Chin Ming Wang's story, dude. He made it to the Yanks and was a 19-game winner, second in Cy Young voting in 06. Then he had some problem, 19-game winner in 07. So he's a back-to-back 19-game winner, and then he kind of like lost it, got released. And I don't see the stats here, but he was doing like flipping, like if you look at 2011, 2012, there's like over here, he's got all these Harrisburg Senators, Syracuse Chiefs, Potomac Nationals, Hagerstown Suns, Eastern, like he was just a journeyman trying to get back. and he didn't like stick with anybody, and he was like out of baseball, I think, for like almost a year, and then he kind of did some rehab stuff, and he made it back to the show after many years not being in the show. Like 3 years after his last, he made it back with the Royals, and he was 6-0. He was actually really clutch that year, but he got hurt. And didn't make it to the postseason, but Chin Ming Wang. So that's the other one. But the other Kansas one related for Bonnie was called. I'm gonna have to just search it like this.
I will say this about Kansas City, at least dealing with Missouri.
Yeah.
The fucking barbecue in Missouri was so good.
I got some good barbecue.
Especially, I never had it in St. Louis. I've never had Kansas City barbecue, but St. Louis barbecue is the shit. I will say that it's on the same level as like Texas barbecue almost. So like if the rest of that state tastes like that, ooh boy. And isn't Kansas City known for their barbecue, right? So if St. Louis is balling, Kansas City has to be like the best, because I'll argue that it's almost better than Texas barbecue. I'm just, on my limited experiences with barbecue in Missouri.
This is the I haven't done a whole lot of that, but like any barbecue is good barbecue. It's all different, like North Carolina barbecue.
I love
Memphis
it.
barbecue.
I love because they use like a vinegar. It's really vinegar based, and I love that vinegar stuff.
The other documentary, if people want to check it out, that I saw that was pretty sweet, was called 50 Summers. 50 Summers is all about minor league baseball. Minor league baseball, basically in Omaha, which was forever like the Royals farm system. And it talks a lot about like the College World Series Stadium going through. I've lost my mind. I can't remember this.
I want to make it to the College World
Rosenblatt,
Series.
Johnny Rosen. What's that?
I want to make it to the College World Series. I want to go. It'd be cool as fuck.
Oh, it's a really fun time. A lot of funnel cake, hot dogs. It's glorious.
You would think I would have gone, but no. I never made it to that town, or not to the town, but to the event.
But narrated,
you know what I'm saying?
Narrated by Rob Riggle, a very, very well done history piece on minor league baseball in Omaha. 50 Summers, one of the latest two. Check those out.
Being from Nebraska and all, you like I said, you would have thought I would have gone to that before, but nope.
Ricky Powell, no, what are you talking? You're a legend. You're a legend.
I've never been to the College World Series.
Because you're just up with the rest of the Midwest mob bosses at the Omaha Steakhouse. So everybody knows about the Midwest Mafia.
Fucking Johnny Fourfinger over there.
That's as close as you could get to Vegas with the skim to the Kansas City Mafia.
KC claims to be the best.
That's the last thing I'll search is the Kansas City Mafia. Let's get into that. Kansas City Mafia. There we go. It's important. Kansas City crime family. This is important.
I would have never thought that Kansas City would be known for crime, like that crime anyway, not mobs.
There was like my understanding was like the Midwest and like Chicago and all that Midwest.
Yeah, Chicago for sure. Yeah.
Like even like Milwaukee, like all these dudes had like their own little crime family, and they controlled like all the trucking and labor and unions, and that money, all those retirement funds for the unions, is basically what funded Vegas. But they're like, we're not going to cut the loans. We're not going to give you loans to build casinos unless we have our personnel there to oversee. So if you want an $80 million loan to build a new casino in Vegas, you went to the like Teamsters or whatever, which was controlled by the mob, and they said, yeah, here's your loan, but Vinny over here, he's going to make sure the count room's doing everything right, and that's where the skim came from. But
I will say the mob is like, okay, look, for example, you owe us $100,000. If you don't have that exact amount when we come see you, good luck.
Too funny. Yeah, Kansas City Mafia. I don't really know. I forget. Let's find the name of the main, because there's always one person on the top. North Side, Sicilians. There's always a war. But yeah, go check out Casino by
the movie
Scorsese.
Was good.
That's a good movie. Prohibition.
Was
Nicholas
Casino?
Civella.
Was that the one with the famous scene where they're sitting at a table
Yeah.
and the guy's like, "Ha ha, you're funny, like how, like a clown?" Was that that? Or was that another one?
Yeah.
Cause I've seen so many of those type of movies, I can't remember which is which sometimes. There was like that one too where what's his name, Roy Loretta, whatever. I can never pronounce his fucking name, but he's like paranoid. There's like helicopters every time he goes outside. He looks in the skies. They're fucking follow me, man.
I like it when they have like really updated mob bosses. You know, it's like MLB The Show 2023. Like, who's the 2023 mob boss? Like, they're really up to date with who's like, because first it was, you know, this guy Nicholas Savella, by the way, was in prison for gambling charges betting on the 1970s Super Bowl. That
21st
sucks.
century. I was thinking of 21st century.
Willie the Rat became the next boss till his death.
So I was thinking 21st century as the insurance company. What's that company that sells houses, right? 21st century. I thought that was them. I was like, they got involved with fucking mob shit. Oh my god.
What
Never buy a house from them.
Carl Tuffy DeLuna, and then they got all the names of these other guys here. Bosses. They have the present. Yeah, see, they do. Check it out. 2006 to present. The present mob boss of Kansas City is Johnny Joe Ciortino. I'm not saying that right.
Close enough.
Johnny Joe Ciortino.
Some guy,
current crime boss.
some guy walks
2023.
in.
Yeah, he's the most updated crime boss.
Some guy walks in. Hey, say my name right. Come on. I'm sorry.
like-
I apologize.
Like, if you're just like going to restaurants in Kansas City right now, and you're Johnny Ciortino, I'm sorry, I'm messing up the name, and you're presently ranked as the #1 mob boss of the city, it's like, hey, aren't you on Wikipedia?
If you're eating at a restaurant and someone comes up to you, how's the food? Oh, it's fucking great.
What are you talking about?
Fuck yeah.
I'm in the garbage business.
What was it?
Wikipedia's talking about
Back in the day in New York or something, like the mob had like the window washing business, and they were raking in like millions and billions of dollars.
They got everything right. I know the garbage business was still.
The garbage. That's funny because that's the truth. Yeah.
That's like a true thing. Another funny one was. You remember Anthony Bourdain?
Oh yeah, the food guy.
Did you ever read his book Kitchen Confidential?
No.
So he was like a pretty, famous chef in New York at the time and ran a lot of like real upscale restaurants. And he said one of the upscale restaurants that he ran was basically like a gift to a mob guy that went away to jail, didn't squeal, So
kind of
like
Ryan went to jail.
so he did his time, didn't rat anybody out. So when he got out, he got set up and like, this is your livelihood now, run this restaurant. But he's a mob guy. He didn't really know that much about running restaurants. And Anthony Bourdain was like, this guy's kind of crazy, but I got to deal with him. But he goes, everything in like New York, your deliveries for your like fruit and like food and garbage, everything was like kind of connected. So you would have these like huge conversations about, like if a delivery was late, you would like call and flex on him, like, do you know who I'm with? And then the guy on the other end of the line was like, oh, yeah, do you know who I'm with? Because, like, everybody was, like, connected and, like, how you're getting everything done for the restaurant business. It's kind of interesting.
I'm with nobody, but do you know who I am?
That's actually a really good book, Kitchen Confidential. And speaking of people like us with no time, I mean, dude's a busy chef. He goes, man, I would get up every morning, like 6 a.m., and, like, smoke some cigarettes and try to, like, write at least, like, 5 pages. And he just like kept doing that the entire time he was a chef. And he finally like wrote that book. And
that dude was like one of the most like crazy, like honest, true like people. He was like famous, but he was like he didn't give a fuck,
Yeah, he didn't sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
All right, that's a pretty random show. How long have we been going, bud? Do you know?
According to the website here on YouTube, about an hour and 20 minutes almost.
Oh, snap.
I know you have to go
get.
Yeah, the kids.
I still got like 30 minutes, but I don't really. We've been freewheeling. It's nice when I come prepared on research, but I
didn't have time.
I just
really.
run around the internet with people. It's basically the show.
I didn't have time to take notes. I was busy with other shit.
We're too busy, man. I got a law case that's ruining my life.
Like I was so early today for that school project. We shot all day, and I was like, I'm so tired. I just want to not shoot anymore. But I mean, we gotta get those last couple of shots in.
Yeah, let's go. There's the Scanburger. Let's go to that.
With extra bacon and extra cheese.
Yeah. Got ATG Scanburger right here. Look at this. Look at the work they're doing. Scanburger, and then Bonnie with the John Deere. This looks pretty sweet. I'm just surfing around Twitter.
You ever seen those fucking people that wear John Deere hats to be cool? Like, hell yeah, John Deere. Like, you're not a fucking farmer. You live in the suburbs, dude. Like, Just relax.
Man. Get a John Deere in the suburbs. I need to get. You know what I got the other day?
That'd be a cool band. That'd be a cool song title or band. John Deere in the suburbs. You gonna go watch John Deere in the suburbs tomorrow? Hell yeah. John Deere's are like you could do some damage, that's for sure.
Look at the build on Hack Wilson. Look at this guy. It's gonna come up there in a minute. 5'9", 190. Back in like the 30s or 40s. Tons of bombs.
I feel like Bonnie is the face of John Deere. Like if you think of a guy that would drive a goddamn John Deere, you're looking at him.
34. Hack Wilson, 5'9".
Look at that dude's arms. Holy fuck.
Right? That face.
So 5'6". It's pretty short.
How many dingers he hit? Hit 56 one year. He had 191 RBIs.
That is a lot.
191. He almost had 200 RBIs.
Because like 100 RBIs in a regular season is
1931.
good.
That's what the Cubs at Wrigley, I think. 56 homers.
This guy's got to hit homers with his name like Hack.
191 RBIs.
Is this
I
really
forgot that about
Is that a nickname?
Wilson.
What's his name? Hack.
He's just a hacker, I guess,
Hack.
man. But like, as a 25-year-old, it's 10, 6, 21.
And he didn't
And
need
then he hit 13 the next year. Huh?
he didn't need steroids for that either.
Oh, they have his
natural.
salaries too. Guess how much he made?
$500 a week.
In the year he in the year he hit 191, knocked in 191 runs, which was 1930.
1930.
Hack Wilson made all of $22,000.
What I say 500 a week? That'd be way too much back then.
That's probably shitloads in 1930, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
With a name like Hack,
What you gonna do, man?
nothing.
It's this war.
Not a goddamn motherfucking thing.
It's all fun baseball, man. Good cards. The story you brought. The cards, man.
I don't know. It's just funny to look at these guys, like these older 80s cards, and look at their faces and try to imagine what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Because they always have like mustaches and serious faces. Like Tim Stoddard, you know this motherfucker wears white balances and cuts the grass on a weekly basis.
80s mustache game was really strong, and I think part of that might have been part of the 80s mustache game. Let's see what this song is. No, that's guys. I think part of 80s mustache game was the popularity. That's a weird one. That's not the outro.
Can be.
Let's see if this one is it. Oh. You like that one, or you like this one here? It's kind of the same.
Yeah, they're very, very similar.
What about
That's the one right there.
this one's the one you want the rapper?
That's the one. The outro.
The outro. Magnum PI. That's why I think Stashes became. It's like if you could pull it off. And there's another good show, Simon and Simon, was really good.
Speaking of Magnum PI, there was that wrestler in the 80s called Magnum TA. That dude had a stash.
Did he?
That dude was a badass.
Magnum TA.
But, you know, like most pro wrestlers, when injuries, stuff catch up to you, and concussions and shit, you gotta call it a day. But Magnum TA was a badass, dude.
Magnum TA. Let me look it up.
Tell me that dude doesn't have a stash that would, like, warrant the 80s style. I think it was like 70s and 80s.
Magnum TA.
Wrestler, yeah, Magnum TA. This dude just looks like a badass. He would pound a 12-pack of Budweiser and go wrestle. I mean, I don't know if he did. That's just what I assume. I'm making assumptions. But yeah. Yeah, see, he's badass looking, huh?
Yeah, right. I'll remember Magnum TA.
Just something that, like,
Yeah, that's a burly mustache. But he also had sweet mullet. I gotta pull up the image for people who's not like seeing.
Unfortunately, mullets are the thing now. Their mullets are like cool now. So
Yeah.
like, but some people like had them before it was a thing, you know.
Yeah, Magnum TA, man.
I used to know, like, pro wrestling used to be my life. I used to know so much about it, but I've been out, you know, I don't know as much as I used to.
Strong, very strong.
I think Dutch Chattahoochee would be a great wrestling name too.
Yeah.
I'd fucking win the title.
Dutch Chattahoochee.
Oh, so I've been having this story in my head forever about a wrestling company called the CWA, the Country Wrestling Alliance. There's a bunch of country wrestlers that are like in this wrestling organization.
I like that.
So you have like the commissioner, which is like Randy Travis, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just a bunch of random country wrestlers, mainly like older ones, you know. But
I had a similar idea for a wrestling league, but it's different. It's called the Underground Professional Wrestling Bowling League. And so what you would do is you would put a wrestling ring in a bowling alley, and you would have to slam the other dude or put him in the sleeper and try to make it to your ball so you could get a shot up, like bowl a shot.
Imagine this, right? It's a wrestling promotion crossover. So you're putting on your event, matches going strong, main event, lights go out. What's that guy's name?
Bigger and McCracken.
Chattahoochee, the song hits by Alan
Yeah.
Jackson. The lights come on. He's in the middle of the ring. Like, oh shit, he just invaded, dude. A wrestling promotion crossover.
Yeah.
They're like, whoa, my god, what is Alan Jackson doing here? What was the name of it? Name of your league?
Oh, I didn't realize. Underground Professional.
UP.
I don't know. Underground Professional Wrestling Bowling League.
So UPWB.
Or just, the Underground Wrestling Bowling League.
UBL.
Yeah.
So like the lights come on. Oh my God! What is Alan Jackson doing to UBL? And he like grabs a mic. And he's
UPWL.
like, yeah, he's about to say some shit. Oh, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna have it very chaotic. I had an idea for like a random documentary.
I just think
never
wrestling
see
is
the light
like
of
great
day.
because there's so many things you can do with wrestling, and I love it. Like,
It's great theater, American
Yeah.
theater right there. It's beautiful. Athletes and theater.
people's
All
like, you know,
sports
it's
are.
fake, right? Well, so's your fucking movie you're watching, but you enjoy that too, don't you? You know what? I have a habit. I like to call people slap nuts.
I'm gonna have to change the title. I don't think I talked about ESP once.
Listen
It's
here,
just we've
slap
been going
nuts.
off.
I'm gonna start calling
Change
people
the
that.
title. This is all about wrestling, and I should put chapters into our videos after I post them.
It's just hard to do. It's hard to do.
So overwhelmed.
Start calling people slap nuts. Listen here, slap nuts. Jeff Jarrett would always call people that. She was great.
I also like that you can kind of reinvent yourself as a wrestler.
Yeah.
You know how
Yeah.
Mankind was Cactus Jack and
Dude,
Mick Foley?
Cactus Jack was a
Yeah.
badass.
Well, he was crazy no matter what he did.
Yeah.
But like he just could go from whatever. You know who else was great was Al Snow. Remember him?
Oh, the guy with the head. Like a lot of the dudes that were like really good were always sometimes not the ones that got the most like push. Unfortunately,
Yeah. Al Snow was
like I'm a huge Matt Cardona fan. Which when he was in WWE, he was Zack Ryder,
yeah.
and he got like super popular with like the fans and shit. And WWE was like, we'll give you a title, but then that's it. You'll get a little short 5-second spotlight, and then we'll push you in the ground. But
I'm sorry to interrupt, but in your knowledge of wrestling, you know how like I go crazy and I like Japan baseball and Taiwan baseball. Is there like, I know in South Africa they have wrestling, but is there like a European WWE?
There's
Is there like other countries
There's a
doing
bunch
this
of
stuff?
them. There's like New Japan.
I know, yeah, Japan's big with
New
it.
Japan is pretty badass. There's so many of them now that like, you know what I'm saying?
Because you could exploit the market. Like if Italy doesn't have backyard wrestling. Like
I will
that's
say
just-
this: Japan has some badass deathmatch wrestling.
Yeah.
Like my favorite league and my favorite wrestling is deathmatch wrestling. Like I like CZW, Combat Zone Wrestling.
Yeah.
Like I love deathmatch wrestling. That is like my favorite. But Japan has some. They're crazy as fuck with death matches, dude. Like I'd be scared to wrestle over there.
And you know, it's another thing that's kind of interesting. I can't remember the name of the wrestler, but I think he was a Mexican wrestler, and so he was in the WWE. But you know, he never achieved like superstar status. He was a star, but he wasn't like The Rock, you know.
Huh.
But in Japan, just like, you know, like Tuffy Rhodes or whatever, like
yeah,
not that
yeah.
good in the pros, but went to Japan, like broke records. This dude is like revered in
legend?
Japanese wrestling. So it's like a difference depending on the country what you're in.
Well, that was like AJ Styles. Like AJ Styles was a
remember
badass.
that.
AJ Styles was a badass. And when he was in TNA, he was like a champion. He was badass. But he went to Japan, and when he went to Japan, dude, he just like took over.
Just took off. Huh?
Like he just like, well, because he had already was good in TNA. Like he was a champion. He was badass. But yeah, when he went to Japan, his game went way up, man. He took off, dude. Because they have a group over there called the Bullet Club, which is like the NWO. And now it's kind of gotten stupid because there's all these random members in and out. And it's like it doesn't mean what it used to. But that's just, yeah. That's my opinion on the whole thing. But
Do you think, since I'm so skinny, that maybe I should go the other direction and become a sumo wrestler? Because then I could just eat as much as I want.
you could totally become a deathmatch wrestler.
Deathmatch.
Because, like, you don't need a certain body type. As long as you take some hits.
Take some hits?
I can take some licks and keep on ticking. You're all right.
Yeah.
I think that was Mick Foley that said I can take a licking and keep on ticking.
I don't know who coined that one, but that's
I
a
think
good
it was.
one.
I've heard Mick Foley when he was as Mankind. Because that Hell in a Cell match with The Undertaker was like one of the sickest matches ever.
Yeah.
Because, like, I think when he threw him on, like, not
Through the chain link? Yeah.
like when he was on top of it and he fell through the cage.
Yeah.
I think that wasn't supposed to happen.
No, it wasn't. And that's why the Undertaker was like, is he alive?
So, like, getting thrown off the top, yeah, but yeah, getting through. And Mick Foley was like busted, had fucking thumbtacks in his mouth. He still was like,
Yeah, like that wasn't supposed to happen. And like for about a 1 day period, I don't know what channel has it, but they have like WWE biography movies. Have you ever seen those? Where they just,
I've seen some, yeah.
Like one will be on like the Hitman Hart, and then one will be on like Mankind. And I watched the one on Mankind, and I think the Undertaker. I was like addicted to them. They're pretty well done.
There was what was it? Ric Flair one. Ric Flair, he should have gave it up a long time ago. Like, he did that one last match thing, and he was so like, ugh, it was ugly to watch, dude. The dude was so old, and he just didn't have it anymore. He's got the personality because he's Ric Flair, but his in-ring work was gone. You know what I'm saying? And he wrestled with a shirt. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Just why?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where that came from.
Because, like, I don't know, man. Wrestling is just great, dude. It's just, I don't know. It's like the artwork of it, everything. To me, it's just like the promos, the music, the stuff in the ring. I just like everything about it. People that don't like it, it comes off as kind of kiddish. They're like, you like that shit? I mean, dude, fuck off.
You know where it takes a licking and keeps on ticking?
What's that?
It was a watch thing, which would make sense. It was Timex watch slogan.
Okay.
Keeps licking and keeps on ticking.
And people just started using it for other things.
So it was so catchy.
I tell you what, man. There's a wrestling promo that you have to watch. His name is Jumpin' Jeff Farmer. And you could tell this was his first set of promos. But, dude, they were so bad. They were so good. Like, there was one part where he's like, you got me, but next time, I'm coming full force.
Yeah, you showed me that one. That's
yeah.
good. That's right up there with freebase cocaine.
And he's like, you turn the tables on me in the wrong way. Well, how do you turn them in a good way? That's what people were saying in the comments. They were like, can you imagine if they would have turned the tables on you in a good way? But, yeah.
All right, bud. Well, I'll go pick up the kids. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Bonnie, Jake, ATG
I gotta go
crew.
pick up some groceries.
I gotta eat something. I'm about to fall over.
You want this last hot dog?
You got one? I'll eat it.
I fucking ate it. Never mind. Fuck. I was like, hey,
It's just naturally the hand goes.
because I was like, hey, man, you want this hot dog? You're like, hell yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. It's gone.
Thanks to everybody out there.
They gave you false
This
hope.
man right here is Dutch Chattahoochee with a headband, the legend. And
I didn't wear a hat today because, like,
Texas Tony Turnstile.
for my film project, I had to have my hair combed.
Go
so-
Roadrunners. Yep.
Go Bobcats. Go Cornhuskers.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Go Illinois. And we out. We're gonna.
I always want to say this, but go Dogs. I'm not even a fan of them. I just like that phrase.
Yeah. No audition today. This thing's not getting posted. We probably could have posted it too because we didn't have callers. We could have got the audio, but it's episode 6,000, so it doesn't count. Can't really put it in there, you know?
So, like, where's the other 5,999?
It was episode 6,000. I'm pretty sure I fucking counted.
We've been doing the podcast for 20 years.
I can't count past 67, but I'm pretty sure this is 6,000. So. All right. Thanks, gents. Thanks, Bonnie. We'll see you guys. Thanks, Jake. Out, yo.